Hi and welcome everybody to a play zone game on chess.com. So I will explain my moves a bit while I'm playing a Blitz game of 5 minutes without increment, and after I'm playing simply a few developing moves, I will dive in my thoughts. So what we have here is some sort of double construct of a solid formation. Giving up my bishop here very early here, but I don't think the bishops will get a big role until the endgame in this case, so I'm very smooth to have my knights and try to get them on important squares. And here he trades off very early everything. This could be a handicap, especially if he takes on d4, and after taking with a knight I could take here, and if he takes with a knight before here and wants to make my queen, I could fork with a check and win even more. So yeah, this could be very handy. First I want to block the possibility to get the pawns rolling on the queen side by simply not allowing to break the b5 pawn along the line, and I still will have to follow up to activate my knights very smoothly. So if the knight comes here, I will make progress by first I will develop my bishop, because he has never the chance now to activate an attack. Okay, now I will get the rook for free, and since he has to take with the queen, I can fork the situation with my knight. So this looks very straight for making progress. Yeah, I thought something kind of that. I think I will save the pawn for a moment, and if he wants to attack my knight, that the pawn will lose his protection, I could attack the queen and the bishop in one square. Now I can make it as well, and I will get finally my queen trade. I just thought that for a moment. So still I have this check, and now I think I just play my knight in here, and then I have to attack on the queen, and he can't just simply attack my queen as well. Now for the moment I try to get a grip on a queen trade again. Since this doesn't work, I have a follow-up by supporting my pawns, promoting to queen. And now you can be very stoic here, just go forward and giving the problems of counterplay their name. So since the bishop is a white square bishop, I just try to keep my pieces on the black squares, and since he hasn't a serious mate threat on my king side, I just really try to make speed on getting my pawn pushed. So yeah, this is pretty tempting now to trade actively, or even if he wants to trade even more into this process. Now I'm asking his queen if he still wants to take part in this procedure. If not, it would be very good for me if he gets back on some square, but I don't even see some square he wants to back. Now then it would be also fine. I can get my second rook into game, because his squares to attack my king with checks can be blocked with the queen on this position too. So it's I think perfectly timing to get my pawn on the next stage. and since my rook is protected and my pawn too, and as I said, my king can't get in a mating in a draw net, I can allow to get a check on the backgrounds, and then just going here, and my king is again not in danger. And all I have to do, since the rooks both defend the pawn now, is to somehow get a rook on the eighth on the eighth rank. Yeah, the question is now, can he make a repetition pattern? I don't think so, since since I can create some blockages every time, just to smoothly rearrange my pawn structure. And now I even have a more justifying threat for him. He loses some more pieces. The light square piece goes down. Now he has to block with the pawn, and then I can fall in with the rook. Okay, this was the only clever move now here, I think. Now I try to block the possibility to okay, it's not so easy. Okay, I just need to think for a moment. Should I go back? Oh. Yeah, now he has to make sure not to get into some trouble with his last defender pawn on f5. The rook still doesn't come into play. In worst case, I try to sacrifice my pawn with a rook trade to still have my rook up. So, but he can't leave the position with the queen, since since I could grab the final pawn and his defense would fall. So yeah, now trying to build up finally to take control on the 8th rank to get the rooks traded or even develop my queen directly. And now this looks very tempting now to proceed my plan into fulfillment, and I don't see how he can prevent this anymore. So I think the trade will come by force now. Okay, makes it over this way, but now I'm just trying to crack his pawn structure of the doubled rooks. For a moment I slice back. Probably I missed some better, quicker way to win this, but I think for the moment it's okay. Give a check, connect the rooks for a moment, and it's mate. Okay, thanks for the attention. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a bit from it, and see you next time. Bye.